Again, I'm not going to show you how to take the wheels off. I've already shown you that in the other videos. So this one was quite tough to get off, so I give it a kick and it eventually came off. Again, tried a different thing with the filming. I tried to zoom it in. I think it was a wrong thing to do because it's out of focus and zoomed in too far, so I've had to try and edit it on the editing tool that I use. Anyway, moving on, we've got a 13mm and a 15mm spanner, and then again you do what you do on the driver side, just undoing them. Same on the bottom. This wasn't straightforward, and you'll see when I take the caliper off. The pads are pretty non-existent. The caliper has been seized on for some time, what I can see. But yeah, it's completely stuck out. So the problem is going to be trying to get the piston out. So still taking the caliper off, undoing the screws, and then you need a screwdriver just to wedge in, try and pull it out. Obviously you need to use your technique to push the pads so that you sorry about the lighting as well. The lighting's not that good, but it gets better. So screwdriver in, pull the pads off, pull the caliper out. Just you keep moving it about, it'll come off eventually. It's just the lip on the disc that normally stops it coming off. Or in my case, a seized caliper, and you'll see how seized. It's actually pulled the dust cover out as well. It's come that far out. It's like on the brink of falling out completely. So there's the piston actually pulled all the way out. You can't even, the dust cover's just completely off. And right then and there, I knew it was going to be an absolute nightmare. So got the disc out of the way. Plenty of WD-40 around that before you try to undo it. I put a mole grips on there to hold it, so when you do try and undo the 30mm, the T30, the disc doesn't turn because obviously there's no handbrake on. And that when you take the handbrake off, remember to put chucks underneath the opposite wheel. So we're undoing the T30. Come off quite easily actually. Everything else was fine on this. You don't need to take the carrier off again. You know, it is quite easy to do this. Check the wheel bearing, make sure that turns okay and there's no funny noises. But yeah, this is the only problem I had, was this caliper. Yeah, and it's fully pushed out. It's not like the other one on the other side that had a little bit of movement. I was able to turn it all the way off or push it out with a brake. So clean it up with a bit of, so we know what we're looking at now. I tried to get some movement with the wind back tool. I tried to turn it the opposite way so that it would come off. It didn't happen. I tried everything, to be fair. That wasn't the only thing. I've edited out most of the stuff I tried. Apart from that stupid method, which was pulling it out. So got in the car, pressed the brake a few times, pulled the handbrake. You'll see it moving in a minute. Yes, there it goes, starts moving now, and still nothing. So kept trying, and then at this point the video just cuts out, and it doesn't actually film me getting it out. So that's the piston out. I've got it in my hand now and I'm cleaning it up after realizing that the video's not running. So I'm going to give the piston a clean up and get the rubber dust cover back on. So yeah, you need it to be hanging off the edge basically. So you have to push it all the way down to the bottom so that you can have that bit there. And if you do unfortunately get into this position, you'll be able to see it a lot better than you can see in this video. It's not, I've not filmed it very well because, to be fair, I just didn't care. I didn't care. I was too worried about getting the car back together. I mean, if I had weeks to do it, it wouldn't have mattered, but I didn't. I had a few hours. I still needed to shower and get stuff ready for work the next day, and it wasn't. Yeah, so things got rushed. The film got second priority, didn't become priority at this point. So I'm putting the rubber grommet in first. The dust cover, it fits in around where the cylinder goes. It's part of the seal, and once you see it in there, you'll understand what I mean. So the actual rubber thing's in there now, but the cylinder's not. Now you need to turn push the cylinder and turn it at the same time. So you have to lube it up with brake, with a .4, and so that it turns it with the rubber dust cover on it. So you just keep trying to turn it with your hand. It didn't really work that well, so I put it on the wind back tool. And because the wind back tool, because it was wound out all the way, there's a certain distance that you can't get the wind back tool in. They're pretty pointless, really, unless you've got a decent caliper and you've hardly worn any brakes off. Then the wind back tools are brilliant, but this wind back tool I've got is far too big to fit in the gap. I don't think it's really for my car. So normally I use it without the other bit that fits in there, and I just try and turn it like I'm doing now. And I put that in, and I just try to get some purchase on it, and then just turn it. And eventually it caught and just started to go in. I think I just got lucky, and it was a eureka moment. But again, when that actually happened, the film, the camera stopped filming. At that point, I'd realised throughout all 4 videos that every time someone either texted me or a phone call came through or anything, the video would stop or pause itself. So next time I film any videos, they'll be on silent or airport mode or airplane mode or whatever it's called. So eventually I did get it wound back in, and it did catch, and I started, it started to go in, and it went in smoothly. But I think that's the idea. Make sure you push it all the way out and then try to wind it all the way back in. If it gets stuck again, then just push it back out again. But again, after all this, all the brakes needed bleed in, things like that. It was other stuff that I didn't film, but these calipers, the 2 rear calipers, are going to come off again, and I am going to film those ones properly. I'm going to make sure I've got plenty of time, because I know what's wrong with them now. It's not like I've just found out that this has happened and it's taken me 2-3 hours to get it all back together. It was an absolute nightmare. It was back-breaking. Yeah, I didn't realise just how back-breaking. When everything's on the floor, it makes things so much more difficult. Really, is what I should have done was just the plan at one point was to take the caliper off altogether and take the pipes off and take the handbrake wire off and stuff like that, and then do it that way. But it was just a time limit thing. So here's where the video just cuts out and now it's wind back in, which is really unfortunate because, yeah, I mean, you didn't miss a lot. It was basically me using the wind back tool just to screw it back in. And it went in quite easily. But I think it's definitely the dust cover and the rubber seal that's inside the caliper. They've become really hard and swollen, and yeah, that's when you get your problems. I think once I've replaced all that, I think it will work. It'll work a lot better. So I'm putting copper grease on everything, get the disc ready. All the disc has been cleaned up. But yeah, most of it wasn't filmed. But you get the idea. If you've watched any of the previous videos to this one, then you'll know that, you know, how to put the brake pads in, because none of that was filmed. Putting the caliper back on wasn't filmed. It was basically the disc goes on and then sort of the video ends. But I'm putting the copper grease on, and then if you go to part 2, you'll be able to see how the brake pads go on and stuff like that, because that's the video for the other side, on the driver's side. So the disc goes on. Just make sure you line it up before you put it in, and then get your little holding screw and just try to put it in by hand. And then, yeah, but these videos were not easy to make. I didn't realize how difficult they were. I mean, that jumper and those jeans are completely ruined. I don't think they'll ever wash out. It was a lot harder than I thought. The editing process is difficult as well. It's a massive learning curve. But I think I've managed to do it. I'll put comments in and tell me what you think. I'm sure the videos will start to get better. I think there'll be less editing and I'll understand more where camera positions need to be before I start filming and sort of checking things. And then the next part will be part 5, which will be repairing the calipers. So hopefully you'll join me for that. Like and subscribe to the video and the channel, please. It will help. And thanks for watching. Cheers.